is the anniversary of a significant milestone, a significant event in my own personal journey, which ultimately is our journey. This message is the message that perhaps if someone could have delivered to me before I had made certain decisions that led me on a certain path, and ultimately was resurrected, was saved, was put back on the path that I'm currently on by what could only be understood as divine intervention. And this message is for the peoples of the planet Earth. And it is a type of wake-up call. Namaste, namaskaram. You see, dear viewer, the average earthling, the average Terran, the average human whose color is at red to orange, sometimes oscillating to yellowish, but mostly within the third dimension frequency oscillation vibrations of consciousness. The average earthling of the lower three chakras has a completely false notion of reality. And this is by design. This is no accident. The Dark Lodge, Deep State, the Khazarian Mafia, the Illuminati has done everything in their power to sell earthlings a false reality. And the majority of earthlings, who are not terribly bright to begin with, swallow this false reality, hook, line, and sinker, the digital matrix. And if you explain what reality is to the average earthling, they don't believe you. They think you are completely off your rocker and perhaps dangerous and should be locked up. And it is this very flavor of consciousness, this type of mass ignorance, that is the greatest obstacle and threat to the coming Satyuga, to the coming golden age, seventh golden age of Aquarius, disparagingly called the New Age by organized religion, who are nothing but fronts for Freemason control freaks. However, if this mass ignorance is not sufficiently raised, if the vibration of consciousness is not sufficiently raised soon, Cosmic Law 13 will self-activate, and there will be wholesale Armageddon on this planet. The Great White Lodge and spiritual hierarchy will do everything in their power to prevent the activation of Cosmic Law 13. But we cannot override the mass will of Earth. And ultimately, it is the collective consciousness of all Earthlings that will determine the fate of this planet. And perhaps you recall, dear viewer, that Cosmic Law from an earlier video information dissemination broadcast, that Cosmic Law 13 states that ignorance is its own destruction and a natural safeguard to the welfare of the cosmos. And in general, it's necessary to have an understanding of cosmic law in general, but the collective laws of God, the celestial hosts, and the lords of karma are purveyors of this cosmic law. And although the Great White Lodge and spiritual hierarchy have the power to correct any situation in the universe, cosmic law often prevents us from doing so. If we applied corrective force to every negative situation in the universe, we would usurp and undermine the dynamics of free will, which lay at the heart of the ascension process. There is no ascension There is no raising of consciousness without free will, without the individual daring to decide to become a metahuman ascendant. They must raise themselves up by their own volition and set their energies upon that path. But many are trapped within organized religion and ensnared with the external savior program and hopelessly lost. But there is no ascension without free will, and so we must frequently do nothing and allow beings and races enmeshed in evil and negativity to work out their own karma at their own pace in their own way. But there are limits and deadlines to everything in the cosmos. God has given the race of Earth a certain amount of time, an allotted amount of time to get their act together and rejoin the brotherhood of planets of their own volition. But that deadline is rapidly coming to a close. And what the race of Earth does not correct on their own, God's army will soon correct by force through Armageddon. Now, if you've watched this video this far, tomorrow I will make a final information dissemination broadcast with a message which I believe is the key to raising consciousness. It worked for me. It is a type of key to the gate, to the gateless gate that we must go through, that is consciousness. Of going to get out, we must go within for the expansion of consciousness and the embracing of infinity. Stay tuned. Namaste. Namaskaram.